towns in California are credited with saving a woman's life after she failed to come home after a walk. San Bernardino County deputies were looking for a 49-year-old woman with a traumatic brain injury. They spent hours searching but came up empty, so they turned to canines, Najee and Kiva. Najee tracked a scent and Kiva led them down a horse trail, guys, for more than a half mile, and they found her in very dense brush. She had fallen some 200 feet down a ravine, and they had to airlift her out to safety.
Aren't those two good doggies? They look like they saved the day.
Can you believe that? I mean, just like a needle in a haystack, they took her right to her.
Yes, I mean, those noses have got to be so strong to do that, right?
Wow, it's just something there. And hey, we've kind of had a brisk weekend here.
Yes, it's been brisk, and overnight we're looking for things to remain chilly, Heidi. Just take a look at where we've got freeze and frost advisories across the region. But hey, you could see those overnight lows come up as we get through the next few days here. So don't worry, we've got warmer temperatures on the way. Daytime highs look to warm up too.
Yeah, that does it for NonStop.
Heidi Miley, Rosemary Wright, bringing you the content that connects our community. You're watching NonStop Local KHQ at 6. This is breaking news.
All right, we have breaking news out of our nation's capital. We have a live view for you at the Correspondents' Dinner in Washington, D.C. We are finding out that the President Trump, and other top U.S. leaders have been escorted out of this event. There's some kind of unspecified threat. Our national sister stations are saying. We see that there are no injuries right now. We do hear that people were ducking under their tables by the hundreds when the Secret Service and other authorities swarmed into this banquet hall. They said, "Out of the way, sir," someone yelled. Others were yelling to duck. So this is a breaking situation. This is a national event, the Correspondents' Dinner. It's often known to be led by a comedian. Right now, this year, it's led by somebody called a mentalist. I think that's sort of a magician-type act. But just moments ago, again, Secret Service swarmed the area, escorted the president and other U.S. leaders out of this banquet. We are working to find out what kind of threat this was and what else is going on there. We'll continue to go back live to our network coverage of this as the evening goes on. All right, as we move on, we are in fire mode. People on Eagle Ridge are more aware of how to try and outrun a wildfire should one tear through Spokane's Latah Valley. They practiced hearing and responding to their phone alarms with Spokane City and fire officials and volunteers in the second wildfire evacuation drill. NonStop Local's Ainsley Anderson has more on the drill and also how other families can make sure to get out of harm's way too.
We get this question a lot. Where is the map for my neighborhood? How do I egress? Where are my points?
Sarah Nuss, Director of Emergency Management with the City of Spokane, she aims to answer these questions.
So wildfires are dynamic, and because of that, that means the situation will change with every fire. So the first responders and dispatch in the moment of an actual event will decide those parameters and send them out.
Nuss says those answers stem from wildfire evacuation drills being performed in high fire risk neighborhoods. Neighborhoods like Eagle Ridge.
Exercises and drilling and working with the community who will be affected is kind of like the bread and butter of individual preparedness, household preparedness.
The city, in partnership with the Spokane Fire Department, not only aims to test evacuation routes in neighborhoods, but to also trial run something new.
To test our regional alert notification system that the county is rolling out right now.
City leaders say national alerts you receive on your phone only get sent to those in the immediate area of a threat. However, the new Alert Spokane system will alert you of anything happening in your neighborhood, no matter where you may be at the time.
So you can learn more about where to sign up at alertspokane.com. You type in Alert Spokane alert notification. It will push you to the website to sign up for those notifications.
Nuss says these drills wouldn't be possible without the help of neighborhood volunteers looking out for one another as temperatures start to rise.
They are really the blood of this, and so to see them here on the ground in their own neighborhood helping capture data and document this is really rewarding, I'm not going to lie.
Reporting in Spokane, I'm Ainsley Anderson, NonStop Local.
And all Spokane County residents can now sign up for the new Alert Spokane emergency notification. Even if you've already registered, the county has upgraded that whole system, so you do need to make a new account. But national and wireless emergency alerts will keep going out on broadcast and mobile airwaves. All right, Spokane Parks and Recreation is celebrating Arbor Day at Finch Arboretum. A brief ceremony marks Spokane's 23rd year as a Tree City, USA city. They were cutting a ribbon, and there's a revitalized touch and see nature trail now at the Arboretum that everybody's celebrating. People enjoyed family-friendly activities, live music, and learning about caring for trees and our environment.
The science on trees has only expanded since Arbor Day was founded. We now know that trees are very important for carbon sequestration, for water preservation. The value of trees since the founding of Arbor Day has only increased in terms of our understanding of them, and there's so much we don't understand about how they communicate, what they communicate, how they think.
Spokane originally designed that trail in the 1970s, and now donations and community support are helping to renovate it. It's more inclusive now for hikers of all abilities, with braille signs, guide ropes, and plants for those with visual impairments. All right, hey, we need to welcome back forecaster Rosemary Wright, fresh off of vacation and a very sunny weekend that you returned in here, Rosemary.
Yes, I had a really lovely welcome back to Spokane. I feel like it was awesome weather for this time of year, right? Some clouds in the sky, but hey, no wet weather coming from those clouds for many of us across eastern Washington and North Idaho, although things were actually a little bit chillier than they normally would be for this time of April, at least in Spokane, where temperatures maxed out at 54 degrees, which is about 6 degrees short of our average for April 25th historically. Tri-Cities was also sitting about 5 degrees cooler than normal for this time of year, but overnight we're looking for those temperatures to drop at or below freezing across much of the region. With that, we do have freeze warnings and even some frost advisories across much of the inland northwest. Additionally, you can see just how dry the skies were today across much of eastern Washington. Some scattered showers for North Idaho and some snow through that northwestern portion of the Treasure State, while our water levels further inland tend to be behaving. You can see there in Chelan we're still dealing with a flood warning as we've got some waterways in that minor flood stage. On the horizon, though, does look like that area will be getting some relief, so we don't really have a chance for wet weather heading into this coming work week across eastern Washington or North Idaho. But if you're not a fan of the chillier weather, we've got a warm up on the way. Heidi, just take a look at this.
This is no questions asked. We don't care. You could have a trunk full of fentanyl. We're not going to ask you anything.
Yeah, today is National Drug Take Back Day across the U.S. DEA started this in 2010 to get drugs safely off the streets. NonStop Local Stephen Hogenkamp shows us how Yakima takes back drugs and also matches this day with a chance to shred your important documents too.
The word of the day, prevention. The biannual Shreds and Meds event preventing overdose and identity theft here in the community.
It starts with prevention, right? We don't want it to result in another epidemic. We want to prevent it before it happens.
A citywide identity theft crisis resulted in the Shreds event back in 2007. Now, nearly 20 years later, it's turned into the Shreds and Meds event, allowing the community to also dispose of unwanted and unused drugs.
The number one reason people break in your homes is they want your opioids, they want your substances. And so we're trying to encourage people to change their norms in hoarding medications and bring them to these events.
Alicia Tobin with Safe Yakima Valley says the entire event is no questions asked, no matter what you bring.
You could have a trunk full of fentanyl. We're not going to ask you anything. We just want them off the streets. So we don't care what the quantities are. We don't care what the sources are. We don't look at the names on them. They literally go in a box, they get taped up, and then they go to the incinerator.
The event also included various volunteers, including those handing out gun and drug lock boxes. Tobin says it takes a community to create positive change.
Everyone you look at here, they are volunteers. And that's how we make a difference in the community. That's how we keep our communities safe, is literally linking arms together and holding events like this.
Now, if you missed it today, Safe Yakima Valley will be back at it the last weekend of October, continuing their efforts for safety and prevention here in the community. Reporting in Yakima, Stephen Hogenkamp, NonStop Local.
And organizers say you can also drop unwanted medications off at pharmacies and police offices in your own city. In health news, Washington State says more teens are overdosing on diphenhydramine. It's in over-the-counter sleep and allergy medicines like Benadryl. Last year, the Poison Center treated some 2 cases a month in kids ages 13 to 19. But between January and March of this year, cases have ramped up to 52 a month. The center links the surge to intentional self-harm and substance misuse. Specialists want you to check in on your children as the school year winds down. Make sure you recognize any signs your teen is struggling, talk openly about suicide risk and mental health, and connect them to support like the National Crisis Line 988 or the Washingotn Link. All right, we are checking on gas prices as the war with Iran continues, and right now a gallon of gas is averaging $4.08 nationwide, up 3 cents from a week ago. In Washington State, prices are sitting at around $5.45, up about 7 cents from last week. In Idaho, a gallon is $4.33, up 2 cents. Now, we are going to a national special report on the president being escorted out of the dinner in Washington, D.C., but we are continuing with NonStop Local headlines online for you right now. All right, and with that, we are sharing the good tonight. Police are getting out there for Kennewick's 3rd annual Autism Journey event. The police department hopes this brings together families, resources, and community members in a meaningful way to support people and families with autism. Families enjoyed activities at the Benton County Fairgrounds, and the department says it's honored to help impact the community in such a positive way. All right, time for a quick break here on NonStop Local at 6. Still to come, a surprise weather system is extending a favorite winter sports season for many in Northern California. We're going to take you to the Sierra Nevadas.
And closer to home, things are actually set to warm up over the next few days. Stick around and we'll take a closer look at warmer weather in our full forecast. It's coming up here at 6.
All right, happening right now, guys. Ski season is still in full swing in parts of California, and it is thanks to recent snowstorms there. Some resorts like Palisades, Tahoe are just playing it by ear on when they might close, how long people can still stay out there. Maybe a better day for that guy who's falling down on a snowboard. Yeah, the fresh snow is making for good conditions on the runs, though skiers are definitely taking advantage of this longer season.
We're definitely going to be open really to mid-May, we're thinking. You know, with these April storms have really helped us sustain our snowpack. Actually 82 inches in the month of April alone.
Yeah, the season across the western U.S. Started off pretty slow, and for many places it never even really got off the ground. But for places like the Sierra Nevadas, this one is one of their best Aprils in a long time. So hey, I think if we want to get any skiing done, we have to head south, it looks like.
I know, right? Now's the time to head to California with all of your winter gear, I guess. At least along the Sierra Nevadas, and Tahoe is absolutely so beautiful. But I know some people have to be disappointed. I know people like lake sports there in Tahoe as well.
Right, something else to do.
Right, a little bit closer to home. We're 15 minutes past 6 p.m. We've got temperatures holding strong in the 50s for both Spokane and Lewiston, with winds quite calm, and you can see our skies really quite gloomy. As we look at our satellite radar, you can see just how much cloud cover we had passing over the region today, bringing with it scattered showers through much of the Panhandle, some snow along the eastern Panhandle, and into that northwestern portion of the Treasure State as well. Overnight, we're actually looking for conditions to remain dry for eastern Washington and north Idaho, with a chance for more snowfall along Montana's northern border. But across the board, we're looking for temperatures to drop at or below freezing tonight. And with that, we do have freeze warnings and frost advisories. So maybe if you have some of your spring gardening starting to go already, now's the time to go ahead and cover some of that up, or maybe bring your potted plants inside, as temperatures are on track to drop to 31 degrees for the Lilac City, 32 degrees on tap for the Lake City, 35 tonight through Moses Lake, a little bit warmer through the Tri-Cities, 39 degrees are expected low there, and just at freezing for Pendleton at 32 degrees. As for tomorrow, Sunday, we see return to the upper 50s for Spokane and Coeur d'Alene at 57 degrees, a little bit warmer through areas like Omak and Brewster at 64 degrees, Lewiston not far behind, 62 degrees, our expected high there, through central Washington, 66 degrees expected in Moses Lake. Turning our eyes a bit further south, you can see we're actually talking upper 60s through areas like the Tri-Cities. At 69 degrees are expected high for Kennewick. As we look at Yakima area, we're talking upper 60s along the slopes too, and into northern Oregon, kind of a range of upper 50s to mid 60s. So kind of a wide scattering of temperatures tomorrow. Nothing really too warm though, unfortunately. Also looking for dry conditions tomorrow. We briefly see that chance of rain pop up to 40%, certain portions of the northern Panhandle tomorrow at noon, and then again another chance for rain at just 40% through Grangeville at that same time on Monday. But beyond that, over the next 72 hours, we're looking for dry weather across the inland northwest, except for along our mountain passes. You could see between right now and the end of the day on Tuesday, we could see a few more inches along both Lookout and Low passes. So something to keep in mind if you have any road travel planned heading east here as spring breaks are wrapping up. Looking at the next 7 days, though, you can see temperatures climb again Thursday and into Friday. We're talking 7 degrees expected in the Lake City on Thursday, upper 60s at that same time for Spokane. Cloud cover off and on throughout this week, but no real chance of rain expected for those clouds. Overnight lows rising from freezing into the low 40s. For Yakima and the Tri-Cities, those warmer temperatures come up to the upper 70s by Thursday, with overnight lows ranging from the upper 30s into the upper 40s. So that's your forecast, but don't go anywhere just yet. There's still more here to see at 6. AJ is talking sports when we come back.
from the Northern Quest Sports Studio. This is SWX NonStop Local Sports.
The Washington State Cougars Crimson and Gray game this afternoon to cap off spring football. The game highlighted by the defense making plays and Team Gray getting the win. The Wazoo players say getting to play in a game-like environment is a great way to finish camp.
Your mindset just kind of changes a little bit when you put the game jersey on, you're out here in front of a lot of fans, and it felt great. I was super excited to come out, and it felt good to be out here.
You talk a little smack here and there, you push them, you get in their face, and then when we're back in the locker room, it's arm around, that's my brother, and there's nothing. You don't bring it off the field. It stays on the field, and you get chippy there, and then off the field, that's your brother, that's your homie, so.
With spring camp now finished, the Cougs turn their attention to their summer workouts, but over in Moscow, things aren't over quite yet.
We are now less than a week away from the Idaho spring game, and with the Vandals only having a couple of practices remaining before they break for summer, there's still work that needs to be done. However, a good foundation has already been laid through the Vandals' 12 practices so far.
I think it's going really well. I think the guys have really caught on to what we're trying to do conceptually, and it's enabled them to play fast, and I think you're seeing guys making some plays as a result.
Right, you're 9 installs in, and the ability to learn the techniques, the communication probably more than anything, and then apply it at full speed. You're seeing a great glimpse into what that defense can be. There's an elite defense here at Idaho, and it's the matter of us continuing to grow and compound on that between now and the fall.
When we came in, we've done a great job of transitioning from the teaching room to like executing that out on the field. So I think we've done a great job so far, just really transitioning and executing out here.
And Saturday's practice, Coach Thomas Ford Jr. said was his favorite so far of spring.
Just the competitive nature, the energy, the attention to detail. I think that's what made it fun, right? That we were able to practice so hard, really get after it, but stay safe and be smart with our teammates.
The Vandals close out spring camp with their spring game coming up on Friday, May 1st here at the Kibbie Dome. Reporting in Moscow, Austin Getz, SWX.
Over in Cheney, head coach Aaron Best had the Eags in their final spring scrimmage before the red-white game. Redshirt junior quarterback Nate Bell got the offense going early, rolls to his right and throws off his back foot. David Cabrera gets behind the defense for the first score of the game. But the defense had an answer. Bell drops back, tries throwing over the middle, but the pass is intercepted by Bjorn Birmingham. A little later, it's a handoff to Kevin Allen III, but a great hit by Stephen Lee Jr. jars the ball free. It's recovered by Drew Carter. In comes sophomore quarterback Caden Rolfsness. He handles the bad snap, outruns everyone to the pylon for the touchdown. Jake Shackle in at QB now. He's got all the time in the world and lets one fly. It's a jump ball in the end zone and the second interception for Birmingham. Head coach Aaron Best says he's happy with how the quarterbacks are competing.
It's awesome when guys get along and push each other. It's awful when it's almost like a 1v1 competition in any situation where they're almost kind of keeping the nose to themselves and not rooting on each other. And so, especially at that position, it's so pivotal that you have more than one that can operate win-based sky games. We have that, in my opinion.
The Eagles' red-white spring game will take place on Friday, May 1st.
And that does it for this edition of NonStop Local News at 6. But again, the breaking news coming from NBC this half hour. Secret Service agents did rush President Trump off the stage at the National Correspondents' Dinner after some attendees say they heard gunshots and were ducking under the tables. We're giving you updates on the pulse.
Heidi Miley, Rosemary Wright, bringing you the content that connects our community.